Hi folks, this is the first of 3 tutorials on image editing that I will go over for the technology assignment number 1. To get started, the tool that we're going to use is www.pixlr.com, pixlr.com. The full URL is www.pixlr.com/editor. And this is where you land. This is a free service, at least free for now. These things often later become for pay services, but right now let's utilize it since we can access it for free from any browser. It's based using Flash, and I think it's a pretty nifty application that they have here. So before we get started, I'd like to make one note about your original source images. You're going to choose a photograph of yourself or of something that represents you that you have on a computer or a hard drive. Please don't edit your original image. When you bring your original image into an image editor like this and then make changes to it, if you hit save, it will overwrite your original image. So it would be quite a shame if you cropped out part of your favorite image of you or your family and it was gone for good. So instead, please make a copy of the image that you will be editing. Place that copy into a folder or on the desktop where you're comfortable working, and then use that image to bring into this image editor. So when you get to the editor, you get this screen here and you have a few choices to create a new image, open an image from the computer, or open an image from a URL. To start, why don't you find an image of yourself or that represents you that you like. Find where that's located on your computer, and I'm going to click Open Image from my computer, and then I'm going to browse for it. It gives me the opportunity to look for my image, and here it is, one of those images that are named with numbers instead of words. I'm going to select my image, and Pixlr is then going to bring it onto the tool stage. So this is the full-size image of me at my old house. Now, I'm interested in utilizing an area of the picture that is just me and sort of cutting out the steps and my cat and my wife, the rest of the house. We're looking to make an image that's 320 pixels by 240 pixels. That's width by height. So the first step is to look at these tools over here. Don't get intimidated. I know there's quite a few tools. We're only going to use a few for this exercise. Now, if you wonder what a tool is, you can roll over the top of it and it pops up and it tells you what the name of the tool is. So if I call a tool the pointer tool or the marquee tool, you can just roll over a tool and figure out which tool I'm referring to. I'm going to choose the marquee tool, and the marquee tool enables me to select an area of a photo or an image. So by clicking on it, the toolbar up here changes. I want to show you the difference because we can either select using rectangles or we can select using ovals. So I'm going to make sure that the rectangle is clicked, and now I get these this little crosshair over the top of the photograph. I'm going to start by kind of choosing the top corner of the area that I want to choose, and I click down on my mouse button and hold it down and drag. Now when I drag, you see this little crossed out rectangle appear. I'm still holding down my mouse button, and when I let go, that area becomes selected. Now notice up here in the marquee toolbar again, if I click on the elliptical marquee or oval marquee, I do the same thing. I hold down the mouse button and I'm able to select a more circular, rounder area. I'm going to go back to the rectangle and sort of choose a squarish portion like this. Okay, now there's many ways to do this. an image editing program like Photoshop gives you a few more tools, but Pixlr is great. It's sort of a base tool set. We're going to use an approach that is copying and pasting. So what I want to do is I select my area. I'm going to go up to the Edit drop-down toolbar and click Edit. And just like in most programs, there's an option to copy. So I'm going to select Copy. And now I've copied that selected area to my clipboard. The next step is to go up to File. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file that is just that area that I've selected. So when I click New, notice that it automatically populates the width and the height pixels from the original image that I used. Right now it's 1097 pixels wide and 900 pixels tall. Most digital cameras these days are shooting in higher number megapixels, so the photos that we get off those cameras are much too large to utilize on the web. What we need to do is resize them down. Remember, we're going to go 320 wide by 240 wide. So to create this new image, I'm going to click OK. Didn't have to do anything. It automatically decided how large my photograph was. And what I get is a new blank image that's the size of the area that I copied. The next step I want to do is I want to select Paste and paste what I copied to the clipboard right into this new image. So now I have two images. Notice I can drag them around. Back behind here I have the original image. And here's the new image of the area that I selected. Now again, this is almost 1000 pixels by 900 pixels. It's still too large for our purposes, but at least I've sort of isolated the area of the photograph that I'd like for my final image. The next tool in the toolbar that we're going to use is the Move tool, or the Pointer tool. I'm just going to click on that for now, and we're not going to move anything yet, but I just wanted to call to your attention that Move tool. So remember, our image size needs to be 320 by 240 pixels. So if I go up to the Image drop-down menu, I'm going to select Image Size, and what that does is it lets me resize my image either up or down. Now remember, if you try to size an image up, you're going to lose quality and it becomes pixelated. But when you shrink an image down in size, it always becomes a little crisper. You're not going to lose any of the original image crispness or quality. So I'm going to click Image Size, and I get a little menu here that asks me what the new dimensions I would like to choose. First thing I'm going to do is type in 320. Now notice that this little box here is clicked its constrained properties. I want to shrink it down in its natural proportions. If I just type in 300 by 320 by 240 here, it's going to augment the picture and it'll become kind of squished. So what I'm going to do is choose the width that I'm actually looking for. Please forgive the beep. I think I just got an email. Again, I'm going to choose the width that I'm looking for. You could always choose the height as well, say 240. But if I put that height in, notice that my width isn't going to be big enough for the image that I'm looking to create. So I'm going to type in 320, and I'm going to click OK. Now notice that the image just shrank down. There's a few things that I'd like to call to your attention at this point. Down here in the bottom toolbar of the image, it gives me a percentage, and that percentage is the view that I'm looking at. So the actual image that I have right now, I'm looking at it at 50% its real size. So what I would like to do is go to View and say Actual Pixels. And there we go. That's the actual size. And note down here in the bottom toolbar, we have the 320 by 287 pixel image. Now that's still not quite the image that we're looking for, so we're going to do the copy and paste trick one more time, and this time we should be able to narrow down the size image that is required for the assignment. So I'm going to go to File, New, and this time when I create a new image, instead of leaving it, which will automatically look at the size of the last image I copied, I'm going to change that manually to the size that I'm looking for, which is 320 pixels wide by 240 pixels high. Now I'm going to click OK, and I get a new blank document that is the exact size that I'm looking for. I'm going to pull the edge of this corner so I can see sort of the gray space. That white is exactly the 320 by 240 area that I'm looking for. So I have this image here that I resized, which is 320 pixels wide, but a little too tall. So what I would like to do is select all, and that selects the whole image, and then copy it again. So I've copied my 320 by 287 photo, and now what I'm planning to do is to paste it into my 320 by 240 new image. There we go. Now this image here is 320 by 240 pixels, and that's what it says down here at the bottom. Now note, what I just copied is actually 287 pixels tall. So again, back to the Move tool, which is that little pointer here in the tool bar. When I click on that, I have the ability to click on my image and move it around. Now it's 320 pixels wide exactly, so I don't have any room to move it side to side, but I do have some room to move it up and down. Note that I get white space here. If I don't move my image over, then my resulting image will also have this white space, and so you want to fill in that white space. Now I can click on the mouse and hold the image and move it by moving the mouse. Another way I can do it when the Move tool is selected is by using the arrow keys, and that enables me to do very fine movements, one pixel at a time. So that's what I'm going to do here. So now I have an image of myself that's 320 by 240, which is the specifications for the first image of the image editing assignment. Now the last step we have to do is to save it so we don't lose our hard work. Now we are once again using an internet browser based image editor, so what we want to do is we want to save the image back to our computer. So the way we do this is go to File and Save. Now when I click Save, it gives me the option to name my photo, and I will name it Skinner. Right now it's .jpeg, which is a great image format to use for photographs. I always recommend using .jpegs when we're using real photograph images. We have two options here. One is to save to my computer, and one is to share to Pixlr. I recommend not sharing. This would make your image public to anybody that went to Pixlr. That's what's being noted here, a public URL. I prefer to keep my image to myself at this point, and I'm going to save that to my computer. You do have some options with format, but for now and for this assignment, please send me .jpegs. You can increase the quality. It's preset at 80. I'm just going to leave it there. That's fine. When I click OK, it's going to now prompt me to save the file skinner.jpg to somewhere on my computer, and I am going to just save it directly to my desktop. That way I know where it is. So actually what I'm going to do is hit save. So now check your desktop. Your image should be there, or wherever you saved your image to on your computer, and you should have your newly created 320 by 240 pixel image. And that pretty much wraps up the tutorial.